All right, so here we have the 3-4 long division homework. And again, let's just put this little disclaimer in here. Quit blindly copying. Think. Do it with me. And don't share your work. Let them suffer. Let them do it. And they'll quit asking you. People keep asking you for your homework. They'll quit asking you if you keep saying no. Promise you. All right, so here's the first one. Divide the following using long division. It's the easiest one on the piece of paper. It really is. So we'll throw an x minus 4 outside. We have x squared plus x minus 17 on the interior. And to make an x squared, we x everything. And this is the distributive property, okay? We have to multiply both terms by x. We get x squared minus 4x. And you should always wrap before you subtract. But what do I know? What do I know? I'm just a math teacher. X squared minus x squared is nothing. Now a negative times a negative is a positive, and x plus 4x is 5x. This is where kids make mistakes. This is where mistakes are made. Right there. Always there. And just like you did in 4th and 5th grade, you carry down. Now, turn an x into a 5x, we have to use a positive 5. And again, we're kind of doing the distributive property here. We have to 5 both pieces. We'll get 5x minus 20. And we'll wrap before we subtract, so negative 17 plus 20 is 3. And this would be your remainder. So plus 3 pieces of x minus 4. Now, what is f of 4? F of 4 is the remainder. And the remainder is 3. So was x minus 4 a factor? No, because the remainder is 3. Not 0, it's 3. And I know this seems funny that this is the remainder. If you actually found f of 4 by hand by plugging in a 4, you shouldn't be surprised at what you get. You've got 16 plus 4, which is 20, and 20 minus 17 is 3. See how that works? The remainder is exactly what you get by plugging in a number. It's part of the remainder theorem. All right. We're supposed to find f of x over g of x, which means we're doing division now. That's just the divisor symbol. See the divisor symbol? So we're dividing f of x, which is 4x to the 4th, and I mentioned placeholders, because it makes a jump to 5x, plus placeholders do matter. There are no x cubes, there are no x squareds, and then we're back to plus 5x minus 4, and we're dividing it by x squared minus 3x minus 2. Now, in order to turn an x squared into an x 4x to the 4th, I need a 4x squared. I swore I picked red. Using the distributive property, 4x squared times x squared is 4x to the 4th. 4x squared times negative 3x is minus 12x cubed. And 4x squared times negative 2 is negative 8x squared. And again, we wrap before we subtract. If not, you'll make mistakes. There will be no x to the 4th. A negative take away a negative is a positive, so there's 12x cubed. And 8x squared, because taking away a negative is addition. Why I have to tell juniors that repetitively is beyond me. I do not understand, y'all. You've been doing the same thing for years and years and years, and you can't figure it out. You are unemployable if you can't figure things out after being told 100 times how to do it. Turn an x squared into 12x cubed, we're going to have to 12x it. So 12x times 12x times x squared is 12x cubed. 12x times negative 3x is negative 36x squared. And then 12x times negative 2 is negative 24x. And again, you wrap before you subtract. And the x cubes disappear. 8 take away negative 36 is 44. And 5 take away negative 24 is going to be 29. And then bring down I'm just making sure I hadn't made any mistakes real quick. All right, the last thing I have to do is I have to multiply by 44. Because I want 44x squared. 44 times a negative 3 is going to be negative 132. And 44 times a negative 2 is going to be negative 88. And again, I wrap before I subtract. 29 minus 132 is going to be, minus a negative 132 is 161. And negative 4 take away a negative 88 is a positive 84. And this is my remainder. So plus 161 pieces of x plus 84 all over the original divisor, which was x squared minus 3x minus 2. There you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's just long division. That's all it is, a simple algorithm. Using long division, determine if x squared minus 1 is a factor of x cubed plus 4x squared minus x minus 4. If so, what is the other factor? So outside of my vinculum, I put x squared minus 1, and inside, and I'm looking for placeholders. I don't need any. X cubed plus 4x squared minus x minus 4. And I'm going to multiply by an x to become x cubed. X times negative 1 minus x. And again, you wrap before you subtract. Notice how I line things up. You're just going to have to bring that straight on down. 4x squared, negative x, take away negative x is nothing. Bring down that 4. And this will be it. To become, for x squared to become 4x squared, I need to multiply by a positive 4. And I'll get 4x squared minus 4. And if I wrap before I subtract, I'll notice nothing. So yes, the remainder is 0. That means we're a factor. And the other guy is this one, because it turns out that x squared minus 1 times x plus 4 is in fact x cubed plus 4x squared minus x minus 4. You know, because we can do the FOIL method, right? Maybe, possibly. All right, given the polynomial f of x and a 0 of f of x factor completely, so, 80% of you or so got this on your basics. This says x is 10, which means that x minus 10 is a factor. So we're going to divide by x minus 10. What's on the interior? 4x cubed minus 30x to the second minus 106x plus a 60. And I need to 4x squared this piece because I need 4x cubed. I'll get 4x cubed minus 40x squared. Yeah, I'm done. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to go ahead and subtract. And I'll have 10x squared. And I'm going to bring down my minus 106x. And this time I need to use a 10x because I need 10x squared. So plus 10x, and I'll get 10x to the second. Minus 100x, and I'll wrap before I subtract, and I'll get negative 6x, and I'll bring down my 60, and I'll obviously change colors because green doesn't show up too well, and I need to use a negative 6. I thought I was changing colors there. I'll get a negative 6x plus 60, and because I'm subtracting, I'll get a nothing. So I know x minus 10 is a factor. It turns out that this is also a factor because the remainder was 0, but it factors some more. So right now, here's what I have. I have x minus 10 times 4x to the second plus 10x minus 6. And if I think about this guy right here, I notice that both pieces, all three pieces are divisible by 2. So I'm going to pull a 2 out of it. And that's going to make looking at it easier. I'm going to be able to factor it easier. And so I put the 2 out front because that's customary. Numbers go out front. I pulled a 2 from all 3 pieces, put that number out front. And looking at it, I'm pretty sure it takes a 2x and an x to create my 2x squared. Factors of 3 are going to be 3 and 1. And the reason I did that order is because I need to add to 5. 3 times 2 is 6, take away 1 is 5. And this is the complete factorization of f of x. I don't want to do any more of this, so I'm not going to. You guys need to be figuring this stuff out. It's not a long assignment for me. It was only 11 questions. For me, that's short. And I know some of you are like, oh, all this math work. It's going to be the same no matter where you go. Anywhere in Wheaton County, you're either going to do this or you're going to do the Envision Excel stuff online. Like, it doesn't matter where you go. I'm old school. We do things with paper and pencil. It's still the same content that you're learning in Greenfield. It's the same content you learn at Westview. It's the same content you learn in Gleason. I'm just old school and I believe in paper and pencil. Anyways, there's your homework. Quit blindly copying. Try and figure it out. And enjoy your day.